Hi. I want to talk about growing up as an only child, my experience as an only child, and how I've come to think of that and accept that ultimately. So I am an only child. My parents, both of my parents, I am the only kid, as far as I know. But um, yeah, I think I tended to overthink almost, kind of blame my problems on that, and I have, I think, shown the typical tendencies of an only child. Like as a kid, I was pretty selfish. I didn't like to share things. I got annoyed when other people had the same passions as me. I felt threatened by other people who tried hard in school because I tried hard. I felt they were a threat intellectually, I guess. But yeah, and I also kind of was isolated. Like I isolated myself from maybe peers my age, and I remember at recess in elementary school, I sort of isolate myself I'd go and do my own thing, and I don't think this was out of sadness. I just kind of naturally did it, and I don't know if this was out of social anxiety or what. I can't really attribute one thing to it, but I just know I did it. I used to kind of walk off by myself by a fence and look at the road and look at the ground, and it was peaceful in a way, but I mean, I isolated myself. I don't think that was a great thing to do. Um, and you kind of do feel isolated, at least I did maybe. I mean, not having someone your own age in your own household kind of affects how you think and how you interact with other people. You may mature. Maybe I've found that my tastes in music especially were kind of more based toward my parents. Like growing up listening to Bruce Springsteen, growing up listening to the Eagles and Kiss exclusively, and being drawn to music that wasn't of your own generation. So I think in a way it may make you into an old soul maybe, and I think I was an old soul growing up, but yeah, I didn't kind of have that experience of growing up with a peer in my own household. But there's lots of great things too that being an only child comes with. I mean, there's a type of love that a parent has for an only child. I mean, every child is loved. I'd hope, but I really think there's kind of a special type of feeling towards an only child, and I don't know what that is. I don't know want to pretend that I know what that is because I haven't experienced it, so I can't even begin to say that. But I think I could really um, feel it from my parents, feel it from their love, their sense of protectiveness, maybe. I could also feel this pressure that comes from being the only child of your parents, this pressure to be something, and this pressure to have kids, this pressure to just not die. I mean, I think it'd be tragic to, for one thing, not continue my parents' family line, but another thing is to die before your parents and cause a situation where your parents don't have any living children. And I think that's incredibly tragic, and I don't think reflecting on that is good. I mean, uh, even if that were to happen, I wouldn't be there to experience it, but that'd be so incredibly tragic, and I think just the most tragic thing that I could think of, and I do worry about that even more than the having kids, more than the being successful. I think about that, not dying. Um, and my parents have been pretty good about not pressuring me, not directly saying you have to be something or you have to have kids by this age, but I mean, I still feel it because I think it's implied. They don't have to say it. It's kind of implied, maybe by society standards, and maybe it's not right to feel that pressure. But I think I do feel that, and I think it's something I'm gonna have to deal with, and I don't know as I grow up, and I don't know if my parents passing away and me not um, making something of myself or continuing their whatever genetics or whatever. I don't know how that make me feel, but I think it kind of wouldn't feel that great. So that's another thing I've had to deal with. Uh, of course, there's the aspect of your parents not having to spend money on other siblings, so you sort of get more of what you want in that way. Maybe if you're financially stable enough. And I felt that definitely sometimes in my life, but I mean, obviously, money and material possessions only kind of a artificial happiness. So ultimately, that's not really any of the answer. Um, but yeah, I've really learned to accept all the things that being an only child has brought. I mean, without a doubt, it's created some difficulties and created some flaws, and but I have to accept that, just like I have to accept, who I am, and accept what happens around me, accept what I can't control. I have to accept that it couldn't really be any other way. Like, it had to be the way it is, and that's, you know I can learn from that, and it's perfect, really, in a way, and I couldn't be anyone else. I have to accept who I am, and learn from my experiences, and thank, being an only child, to who I am, to my interests, to my passions. I wouldn't be the same person, I think. I mean, there's really no other reality to compare. It's just this one. I am the way that I am, and I think it's really beautiful to accept that. To accept that I can't really be anyone else.
My lover left me